I have a great idea,
But I'll
never do it. It might happen. Sure, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
Hey everybody, it's me, Jon.
And me, Louise.
We've got great ideas that we're never gonna do.
That's the title of the show.
Yeah, and the title of the show isn't "We've got great ideas we're gonna do." I have a great idea.
It's
but
much
I'll never
more
do.
selfish than that. It's I have a great idea.
Yeah, and this is the podcast about all of the crazy ideas that we have that are brilliant that we're just never gonna do. And Louise, I feel like it's episode 23. It's a good time to give people, I guess, like the glossary of terms. We are Jon and Louise. We are your hosts. You may hear us talk about Roland and Daisy. Those are our dogs. Roland is Louise's dog. Daisy is my dog. I live in Portland. Louise lives in New York. My wife's name is Laura. Louise's boyfriend's name is Chris. Are we caught up?
Really I think everybody's on the same page now.
Because sometimes we bring things up and we're just like, Roland's going crazy and he's licking my feet. And it's like, that's a dog.
Yes.
I don't think Roland's ever licked your feet while we were recording, but
Nobody could.
he could. Dude is unpredictable.
That's right.
So anyway, hey Louise, how's it going?
Hey, it's going really great. I just had a birthday.
That's right. Happy belated birthday. I wish you a happy birthday on your birthday. So
And you did one better. You sent me a gift that arrived on my birthday.
that never happens. I mailed it out on your birthday was on Monday. I mailed it out on Saturday, and I was like, this ain't getting there for a week. Got there
here.
on Monday.
Monday.
And I was also nervous that somebody else would have gotten you that gift.
No.
Because I know that you have people that you play games with.
Yeah.
Not like mind games, but
No, not that cruel.
Yeah, Louise introduced me to a game called Code Names that you can find at your local Target store. And it's crazy fun, but
It's super great.
Louise, whenever I'm explaining to other people how to play this game, I always have to tell them that when it was explained to me by you, it was explained so poorly because you were so excited that you were not making any sense, and it made it
P.S.
so much more confusing.
P.S. to the listener, that's how every interaction in my life is, that I get so excited that I make it way more complicated than it needs to be.
Right. Well, part of our story of learning how to play or just like playing the game Code Names is, and Louise did a crazy job explaining it to us. So that's
when
part
you
of
explain it to new people.
Oh yeah. Hey, am I on your Skype frozen?
Yeah.
Weird.
Am I frozen on yours?
You are not, but I see my little thing and it's like frozen, but you can still hear me, so whatever.
Whatevs.
I'm sure I look exactly the same as I did when I was frozen.
Okay, so side note, in college, we played this game. It's called Statue. I'll try to do my best not to overcomplicate.
Is this like a theater game?
I don't know. It was just, we were theater kids, but because I went to a conservatory, but we just did it. And it was like the rule was anybody who was playing could at any time yell out statue, and everybody had to hold it. And then they'd go and unfreeze. And I just thought, when you were frozen in the frame, I just thought, oh, statue. Okay. I did not think twice about it.
Well, this is not a podcast about games, my friends.
No.
Although statue sounds like fun.
It's super fun.
Okay.
It sounds really not fun. Actually, let me just explain another game that sounds like it wouldn't be that fun and is the most fun ever. When I was on vacation, the first 2 days we were in Nepal, it poured down rain. Mm-hmm. And what was really kind of awesome about that because you never really wanted to rain on vacation, was it gave us an opportunity to just be in this little hut at our resort in Pokhara. And it was pouring down rain on all four sides of us. And whenever we wanted to order another drink from the bar, we just had a buzzer.
Nice.
And the person came out. But we played this game that I learned at a Christmas party. It's called Cheers, Governor. And it's a drinking game. But the way that you play is you have to count around in a circle out loud to 21. And when you get to 21, you cheers and you say, cheers, governor. Now, the next part of it is 7 and 11. No, 7 and 14 are swapped. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14, 8, 9, 10. And that's the only rule. That's the only rule.
Okay.
When you get to 21, cheers, governor, and you all take a drink, the person who gets to say 21 makes a new rule.
Oh.
So every game is different. And if you mess up, you have to take a drink.
I feel like
Anyway,
I feel like
it's
we're
the
living
most
in
fun.
I feel like we're living in a golden age of games,
Oh, yeah.
right? The
Yes.
ideas are flowing and people are kickstarting things. And
Yes.
I think that with the internet out there are people who are becoming popular who and famous who normally wouldn't be popular or famous, but those are the kinds of people who come up with ideas for games.
Oh, I also have that weird game that has that like dental opener where you have you seen this game?
No.
You put this dental opener in your mouth. Viewers, if we do post this on YouTube, it'll look like this. And you have to try to say the thing that's on the card, and your teammates have to guess what you're saying.
Oh, weird.
It's so fun because you can't use all of your articulators.
No.
Anyway, it's the best. But that's not what this podcast is about.
It's about ideas.
That's right.
There was kind of an idea through line to all of that. People came up with these things and they
That's
followed
true.
through. So yeah, have you been having lots of crazy good ideas lately?
I don't know if they're crazy good, but I have been having them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with the first one. I believe it is an adaptation of an idea from a previous episode where a friend of the pod had called in with an idea. Now, their idea was called a breakup button.
Oh yeah.
where
Oh yeah.
On Facebook, if you
If you
exited-
want to go back and listen to it, it's the episode called The Curious Case of Benjamin Breakup Button.
Nice. Yeah, but the premise is when you end a relationship in any form, like social media makes everything so much more complicated, where it knows that you've tagged that person in a bunch of photos. And so it tries to feed you more of that, but it keeps your heart just a little bit too raw.
Yeah.
So you should be able to click the breakup button where it goes, okay, I won't put so much of that person in your feed or at the top of it. Or maybe there's like the option to untag yourself from all of their pictures just in one sweep. So you don't have to individually spend hours and hours and hours doing this.
Right.
Okay. This concept for employment.
Huh.
I recently,
Like a coworker situation?
yes, where maybe you don't want to unfriend or unfollow a bunch of your coworkers, but maybe you move to a different job, but you're still seeing all of the media of your post place of work. And it's like, I don't want to not be friends with these people, but that's too much of this in my face all the time.
Right.
So I guess it's like we could even spin it like super positive and be like, it's the promotion button, or like, not promotions like advertisements, but you're in a different
Right.
place. And so you
Yeah.
don't want to see that every day.
Yeah.
It's a social media content filter of another kind.
Sure. I think that's a really important tool that would be easy for, let's say, Facebook to implement.
Right. Or maybe you were really, really super into barbecuing, and then you had a life change, and now you're a vegan, but all of your Texas friends are still giving you pictures on Facebook of pigs on spits.
Texas
and
friends.
You're all your Texas friends of pigs on spits, and you don't want to see that, but you just want to tell Facebook, no more barbecue.
Yeah. Oh, have I talked about this on the podcast before? Another thing to catch all you listeners up on is that I am vegan. So I'm wondering, have we talked about this where it's like you have a setting on your internet browser that doesn't show any ads that have like meat in it, for example, where it's just
we
like,
haven't, but that's amazing.
I feel like we talked about that. Maybe I talked about it with somebody else, not with a microphone in front of my face, which is like, what am I even doing with my life if that's what's happening?
Why are you even talking?
Yeah, because it's just like, honestly, all right, and I know that a lot of you people are going to be rolling your eyes right now, but when I see a lot of those ads, if I get, sometimes I'll just ignore them, but if there's just so many, I will go to the little button that says like, flag as inappropriate, I find this offensive, because I find it offensive.
I have that same feeling about world events. Now, last year, or maybe the year before, when technology was not as good as it is now, when someone posted a video on Facebook, you got a thumbnail from the video, but you had to actively click it to watch it. And now, whenever somebody uploads a video, it just automatically goes, even though you don't have the sound. But some images I don't want to see, whether it's a steak on a plate or a dog being kicked or a human in war times. Like, I'm too tender to look at that without being affected.
Yeah, there needs to just be like a throttle of like how much you can take.
A throttle. Yes.
I feel like maybe I've dreamt this conversation before.
I do that a lot. I am doing a show, everybody who listens to the pod.
Everybody go.
And it's in New York, so if you're not here, then I understand.
Can you live stream it?
You can for an additional fee, which I am not willing to
Oh, meaning
pay.
You would have to pay.
I pay.
Okay.
I pay the venue, they live stream it. But I will say,
how much is the fee?
It's an additional, I believe, $85 an hour. The show is only an hour, but I would want a little before and a little after, and they don't do parts. They only do full hours, so I'd have to do 2 hours.
Got it.
And I've already sunk so much money into this thing.
Right, but $85 is a lot less than a round-trip plane ticket.
That's true. I will say, for my birthday, my mom, hold on. She said, what do you want for your birthday? And I was having a panic moment in life. And I was like, I just want some time.
No.
So in the mail, I got this, which is a suction cup shower clock. But she was like, aren't I clever and witty? And I was like, oh my God, you gave me time. God, I love ya.
Or she gave you a reminder of how quickly time is passing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love you, Mayor. We love you, Mayor.
Gosh, friend of the pod, Mare. But she also said, well, that was kind of a stupid gift. If you would want me to pay for the professional multi-camera and audio recording at the venue, instead of having your friends set up a tripod and press play, I would be willing to do that for your birthday. And I said, yes, please.
What a great mom.
I know. So even though I'm not live streaming it for those who can't be there, I am recording it professionally. So I hope to have pieces of it that I can share.
You know who is going to be there? Previous guest Scott Wiener and our mother Andy.
I'm very excited.
They're very excited.
One of the first people to purchase tickets.
Really?
Yeah, well, because I said like 100 days ago, I'm doing a show in April.
Yeah.
And that's a long way in advance to tell people.
But some people need to plan that far in advance. We're going way off topic, but that's cool.
We are. We are. What are some ideas you've been having?
What are some ideas? Okay, let me consult my little note here. Okay.
I don't know how I got on that.
What's up?
Oh, because you said that you didn't know if you dreamt it. And I was saying I've had so many anxiety dreams about my show that hasn't happened. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so for work, my profession. Oh, here's another thing for the first time listeners, whatever. I don't know. My job, I work at a really incredible museum. I'll say it, Portland Art Museum. There's no reason why they would be upset for me to be saying that. And I am the video producer and photographer at the museum, which is like the coolest job I've ever had that I think I will ever have. And it's incredible. I get to, create art that shows up in a museum and, other things that are less artistic. But anyway,
I'm a very proud friend.
It's really cool. I love it. Anyway, so there's a lot going on these days about spending a lot of money on cameras and lenses and things like that. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for professional camera gear, and smartphones are getting like crazy good in the camera department. And with apps that you can buy for like, I don't know, $5-10, like you can have the like super high quality, great looking video for not that much money. So, but there's still a stigma between like having an actual camera in your hand versus like holding up a little rectangle and being like, I work here professionally, trust me, it'll look good. And I know that there are rigs that you can like put your phone into that give it, better quality and a little bit more legitimacy. But if there were an actual like camera casing that you can put a phone into and like completely hide it, and it just uses the lens, and maybe it even like has mirrors or something else that kind of let you use bigger and better lenses and stuff, where it's like maybe you're spending $200 rather than $2,000 for, something really cool. What's up?
I was just thinking, like, what if it was just the casing of the camera, but you put your phone inside of it?
Yeah.
Like a decoy, like a scarecrow in a field.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, so people don't even know that, like, there's not an additional storage of the data or lens in front of it, but it would look... Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I have Moment lenses. Have you heard of Moment?
Oh, they're very good.
They are very good. I got them as part of, or rather Chris got them, but we share, as part of the Kickstarter. And I think we have like 2 or 3 lenses, and it comes with a specific case that you screw the lenses on, because I know some have like some lenses you can buy additionally have clamps.
Right.
Like a clothespin that goes on
like
in front of your
clip.
camera. Right. But sometimes those are like just like a little imperfect or so this one is like the phone goes in the case, the lens screws onto that, and it's like perfect. But I think there should be additionally like for your idea, just to dovetail on it, like what are those called? Like shades. Sometimes when the lens is set back farther to have the shade like light it properly.
Oh yeah.
Or even I've seen recently with some friends in film school, it looks sort of like a hangman apparatus, but the camera floats on it.
Right.
And you like make small movements with the base and the crane part, but the camera just like steady.
Yeah, it's a stabilizer. Some of them are called gimbals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that for your phone.
Well, there is one that I actually had the museum buy for me called the DJI Osmo Mobile. And it is really cool. And anytime I'm using it, someone's like, ooh, what's happening here? So, yeah, that works great. And Moment Lenses and DJI, if you're listening, feel free to either sponsor the show or send me some stuff. right?
Yeah.
And I will
Yeah.
totally be like, this cool looking shot is courtesy of Moment lenses and DJI. Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. When Chris and I were in Nepal, we watched the sunrise over the Annapurna mountain range and attached our Moment lenses.
Of course.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I like it.
Yeah, it's just that's my most straightforward normal person idea for this episode. The other ones go a little off the rails.
Oh, okay. I'm excited. Do you want to go off the rails right now, or do you want me to do another idea, or should we do challenges? What are you feeling?
What you got? What you got?
Okay. It's gonna need a lead-in story, like everything I do. I'm gonna overcomplicate. The other day, I was in a rush. Chris was also in a rush. He's a little bit better and quicker than I am because I'm a lady and I take longer just generally. So I was like, why don't you take a shower first and you get ready and then you get completely out of my way and go to work and then I'll get ready. Only we have differing bath mat techniques.
Oh.
For instance, he will take a shower and then immediately drape the bath mat over the side of the tub for it to like dry a little easier. And I will leave the bath mat down because when I spray hairspray, I don't want the floor to get sticky.
Makes
so
sense.
Anyway, he had wonderfully and quickly and efficiently picked up the bath mat, put it over the side of the tub. I went into the bathroom cartoon banana peel style on my heel because I had slipped on a patch of water and was flailing for anything, grabbed the shower curtain, and of course we have a tension rod.
Oh.
So that came down. Here's my idea. Because it's not just the pulling that caused that to come down, even though that did not help. I would like 3M or any competitive company to create a heavy-duty tension shower rod reinforcer in the same way that they make like garage hooks or like picture frame hanging things where you peel off the thing, you set it into the place.
Oh, command strips.
Yes!
3M command strips.
And then when you go to remove it, it all comes off nicely. Now, the additional problem of the bathroom tile instead of paint or whatever is that you get the condensation, which is part of the reason why the tension rod sometimes slips and falls too. It's not just that a cartoon banana peel fall is about to happen.
Right.
But I would like something like that you can put the tension rod up, add the reinforcer under the business, and not hurt the tiles,
Right.
but have a more secure.
Oh, I got it. That's great.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I don't know how to finish that thought, but that's what most problem solving first needs a problem, and that was a big one for me recently.
Okay. I have an idea dovetailing off of that story that also leads into one of my pre-written ideas. Okay. So, and this all depends on the layout of your bathroom and where you like to put the bath mat. But assuming that you're putting it right outside of where the shower or bathtub is, it is itself like a bathtub or shower, like part of the fixture itself, but it is a retractable bath mat that you pull out and you set it, and then when you're done, you kind of do like a little tug back, and it kind of sucks it back in.
Yeah, like a vacuum cord.
But because it's wet, it like squeeges out all of the extra water. Right?
This is like A+ idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because Laura and I also have different, not bath mat techniques. The bath mat usually stays put, but it's like getting out of the shower / bathtub techniques where she's just like, okay, stepping out, step on the bath mat, which leaves these like wet footprints on there. Whereas I take my towel, put it over the bath mat and step onto the towel, drying my feet and keeping the bath mat tidy. Anyway.
I'm more like you. I even go so far as to fully dry in the shower.
I dry as much as I can in the shower.
And then step out.
Oh, you know what I also do?
Chris is more like Laura. He's just like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah. Bathroom is a soaking wet mess. Also what I do before I towel dry inside the shower, and you guys are getting a real inside look as to
this is
our
a really
hygiene.
Intimate episode.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, look, whatever. It's a podcast.
I'm an open book.
Is I like squeegee off my entire body with my hands and like brush the water off. You do that too? Yes. Yeah, just like I have so much water on my arms, whoosh, and it just like you hear it hitting the shower curtain or the shower liner, and you're just like, that's like all that water that's not going onto my floor or into a towel.
Additionally, I also will like shake and then wring and squeeze, shake and then wring and squeeze my hair before it touches a towel. It's not just like, it's wet, I need a towel. Like, there's so many steps of pre-drying before actual drying.
I like it.
I think maybe, are we the more complicated of the two in our halves?
I don't know. I think that in certain ways, yes, but in other ways, definitely not.
That feels fair.
But that
good answer.
So the bath mat, the retractable bath mat leads into my next idea, which is a belt that has a retractable lap napkin. Right? So, you know, you're out to eat somewhere, you're having an impromptu lunch on a park bench, and you don't have like a napkin to drape upon your nice pants. Zip, 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 zip. There you go. You have a little lap napkin.
There should also be the option for if you do happen to take a bite of your PB&J and a giant like glop of jam comes out, that instead of retracting it back into your belt, you can just go, and detach.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't walk around with jammy pants for the rest of the day.
No, definitely
like,
not.
Jammy belts, I guess.
No, not at all. And, you know, there's obviously the spatial situation that might not be super easy, but, you know, if you're the kind of person who finds yourself needing this type of thing, it might be worth the extra padding in the belt. Ooh.
You know what this could also be great for?
I just saw you like physically get an idea.
I did. Okay, so this could also be a carry around with you your own hand dryer from your retractable eating napkin, as they do in Japan. There's no like tissue to dry your hands with after you go to the bathroom and wash your hands. Everybody just brings these cute little like hanky squares with them to dry their hands. And you can't really teach Americans bring your own towel and take it with you when you go, because we all just want to like...
We are a disposable culture.
We are a disposable culture, yes. You either want to dry your hands in a thing, which sometimes I get nervous about, or you want to just do it and throw it away. But if we all had like a cool belt that doubled as a dining napkin, maybe we would be like, how do I dry my hands?
Oh, yeah. I think that's the way to do it. I think we're on to something.
Maybe it can be retract-a-nap.
Yeah.
No?
Retract-a-nap. The zippy zapkin.
Oh, a zippy zapkin. It could also be I got nothing. All right. The lunch belt.
The waster chief. I don't know.
What's Oh, no, that's a cummerbund. I was like, it just catches the crumbs or whatever.
Cumberbuns. There's something there. Well, yeah, let's talk about...
We'll workshop it.
Yeah. Man, we're only like a half hour in. Do you want to do like one more idea before moving on to the challenges from last time?
Sure.
What you got?
I've been having... I hesitate to bring it up, but I'm just going to go for it. Airline travel. It's the worst. For a lot of different reasons, too many to get into right now. That's a different podcast that John invented a couple episodes ago called Uproar.
Yeah.
But back to the idea. I'm a tiny person. A lot of times I see it as a disadvantage. Air travel, total advantage. I would hate to be a giant person. Tall, wide, being large is not to your advantage on an airplane. However, we all pay the same amount of money for our tickets. That's not true either, and I know that it's all complicated and about when you buy it, and but generally. And when there's overflow into my space, I want to lose my mind because I'm like, what entitles you to my space when I have paid for my space? What happens if I was also as big as you? Whatever. It's just right now I'm just being a whiny, spoiled, complainy person. But I don't remember if it was last episode or the episode before we were talking about the Great American Bake Off or Bake Show. And they had these oven doors that opened down and then disappeared. Like you opened it and then slid it in.
Right.
I would like that, but in reverse.
Yeah.
For the airplane, not just the armrest that comes down because people can still spread that way. So you like pull it out and lock it in as in like a cubicle. So that if they do try to smash up into your space, there is a clear barrier in that way. Might also be better for like sleeping. I know that's really petty and silly, but like a privacy shield to give you the space you're entitled to.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. I'm not a huge dude. I value my space. Airline tickets are expensive. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Will people be into it? Probably not.
No.
No.
People will not be into it. I can tell you that right now.
But you've reminded me about a gripe that I've had for a long time that I don't know if I've ever talked about on the show before, but it's the way that people talk about the things that they get on flights. And they're just like, oh, you get a free snack, or you get a free this, or if you're in like first class or whatever, and then it's like, oh, you get a free glass of champagne, you get a free ice cream sundae. It's like, no, they're not free. You are paying a lot of money for those. It's like, I bought a $2,000 ice cream sundae. I feel like people have to stop saying, unless you are like legit flying for free, then it's like, I got all this for free.
Yeah. There's also, and I think that it just has to do with what everyone is used to growing up. Like, for instance, in certain cultures, do not touch me on the subway. In other cultures, police officers are cramming you in like a sardine, and you are used to being like touched in that way. Or I am a tiny person, as I said before. My mom is even tinier than I am. And my whole life, this is how I interact in most situations. Maybe I should do that toward the mic.
Yes, please.
Because everyone is taller than me.
And
like
for
everyone.
And by the way, Louise was like looking up, neck at like 45-degree angle. Yeah.
Well, I'm 5'1.5" on a good day. And most of I dated a guy who was like 6'4",
Ugh.
and like every time we like held hands and walked around together, I was like, I had to really look up, like it was definitely twins style,
Right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito. Totally. But I think that people who are generally 6'4" don't have people body checking them in the street.
Right.
Like people will like shift and move out of the way most of the time. I am like getting body checked everywhere, which I think adds to my short fuse about my personal space, because I'm like, what if I was huge?
Right.
Like, would you run into me? And I think the answer is like, no. Also, I am a lady and not a gentleman, and I know that shouldn't matter, but
it does.
But it does. You put a lot of dudes in suits who are hyper masculine, and they're going to find a way to navigate that crowded area without touching.
Ugh.
So why are you running into me? And I'm not even talking about like, oh, there's a lot of people and there's brushing. Like, I am talking about being checked.
Ugh.
And so that's why I am so intense about my flight privacy cubicle shield.
Right. See, I think that what you need to start doing is walking around the streets of New York like that little girl in that like BBC video that like barges into that room. Like with your elbows out, just like
Yeah, or if I also like tried to walk around in like a sumo suit, like one of those like play.
Oh yeah, the inflatable like sumo suits.
Yes.
If you wore one of those and were walking around New York, you'd be like bopping around like a little pinball.
Yeah. Everyone would hate me.
Yeah, but they already hate everybody else anyway.
That's true. That's
New
true.
York.
Get out of the way. Oh, shout out to Glove and Boots. If anybody wants to look up some funny videos on YouTube, Glove and Boots.
What's that?
It's really cool. It's puppets. And they talk about sidewalk etiquette
Oh, okay.
in New York. And they're like, we got 2 speeds in New York. Get out of the way or go as fast as you possibly can.
Right. Seriously, it's tough there. Just getting around.
Or how people will walk down the sidewalk and then stop and look, and you're like, get out of the way.
Yeah. All right, so I'll give my one other idea, and then we'll move on to the challenges.
Sounds good.
So this one, it's I guess a workplace morale booster, and it comes in a place a little less expected, but that all of us use, and that's the bathroom, the restroom, the wash closet, the water closet, the washroom, whatever. And I feel like public bathrooms and office bathrooms are very well known for having like bottom of the line TP. Right?
Yep.
So, rather than, I understand it's a big cost. What's up?
I was going to say, if at all.
If at all.
Sometimes in, let's say, other countries, you don't even get any tissue and you don't even get a toilet.
Mm-hmm.
You get a hole that you squat over.
Well, let's just take
In
into
America.
equation, indoor plumbing.
Western.
Yeah, Western civilization. Right. So, TP is an expense, but maybe one day a week there can be a bit of an extravagance. So that's why I am going to pitch the idea of 3-ply Thursday. That's right. On Thursdays, you get an extra ply to
I like
cushion
it.
your tushin.
Oh, there's even taglines.
That was off the dome right then and there. So it's happening. I don't know what a tushin is, but
Oh, it is
But you get it.
It's a beautiful rhyme. Cushion your tushin.
yeah. So like And you can even make it even crazier. So like 4-ply Friday, if you can find the stuff.
Luxurious.
Right. So, or if you're the kind of place that is really scraping and get by and you are working with 1-ply, 2-ply Tuesday.
Oh, I was going to say monoply Monday.
Monoply Monday. Oh my God. Like,
It's like the mere suggestion of toilet paper.
that's for an office that's trying to seriously cut costs. It's like, one day a week we're going to have to just do monoply Monday. Sorry, everybody.
Womp womp.
And maybe Wednesday is like Wet Wipes Wednesday. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know. Or just like
This is fun.
Or it's just like Wet Wednesday and it's a bidets instead of paper.
Bidets. Oh my God. Yes. Everyone would have to incur the cost of installing bidets.
You know, it's a few cents out of your paycheck. You'll get used to it and you'll appreciate it.
You will.
Yeah.
You'll also know what day it is.
You'll also know what day is it? Oh, now I know.
Yep.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Good thing.
So our challenges for last week, I challenged you to, was it corgis or corgi butts?
Corgi butts.
Corgi butts. Well, that's a good segue from the bathroom situation. We're talking about butts.
Okay, I got a few ideas that I was thinking about.
All right.
I don't know how practical any of them are, but I'm just gonna like rapid fire them.
Mm-hmm.
First is gonna be tail wing. Like sometimes on flights, you can like look underneath the plane to what you're flying over. You can look from the wings. The tail wing will have a camera on top of it so you can see the nose of the plane and where you're flying. It's actually kind of cool on those tiny TV screens. You can look. But a tail wing GoPro for a corgi butt so that you can see what the butt sees. Okay. Idea 2. Sorority girl booty shorts, but instead of the Greek letters, prints of corgi butts.
Oh my God. That's really, really funny. That's just inviting people to like seriously look at your butt though. I know that like the sorority girl ones that's the point.
That's the point.
Yeah.
But instead of the Greek letters, corgi butts, because who doesn't love dogs? Crazy people.
Crazy people.
Okay, idea 3. Mary Poppins, Bert style one-man banding so that when the corgi moves, it's like cymbal, bass, cymbal, bass, cymbal, bass, so that you can walk to the rhythm of your corgi.
I really like that just for dogs in general. Although Daisy, we've mentioned everybody that we mentioned earlier. Daisy, she's so erratic in her walking that it would be like jazz. Daisy take Daisy for a walk. If you could match drums to what she's doing, it'd be like the movie Whiplash, but like the scene where J.K. Simmons is throwing cymbals at him and stuff.
Oh my God. And speaking of, I just saw the most amazing drumming video of the dialogue from It's Always Sunny.
Oh yeah.
I will send it to you after this if I don't forget. But yeah, I think
Weird.
Roland would probably be set up and he'd be like, crash, hit, crash, hit. What is that? Crash, hit. What is that? Crash, hit. Is that me? And then we wouldn't get anywhere. He'd be so aware of his playing.
But yeah, corgis definitely keep to the beat. They are the backbone of the band.
Also, it was a really, like, one of my most difficult challenges.
Yeah?
'Cause
you had
how do
3
you-
ideas for it.
I know,
You
but
could have
how do
stopped
you...
at GoPro on a corgi butt, and I'd be like, great, done.
But how do you improve on the corgi butt?
It's a good
So
point.
hard.
It's a good point.
Anyway, that's it. Corgi butts.
So my challenge was ankle swelling on flights.
Damn Yankees.
Damn Yankees. I was a little bold in giving it a name, but I think that it could work no matter what. I've personally, at least to my knowledge, never really experienced ankle swelling on flights.
It's long flights only, I think.
I've had some long flights, but I haven't been aware of my ankles and the swelling of. Oh, I don't know. But I feel like maybe there's something to say about a better airline, not an airline like, I don't know, United, something like that.
Burn.
But a good airline that can provide for you little like cheapo ice packs to put around your ankles. I don't know if that's really
in the same way that they provide like on
towel.
overnight flights. You get like a little travel toothbrush
Right.
with a super tiny toothpaste, like, or sometimes you get a mask as
Right.
well as a blanket.
yeah.
Ice packs.
Yeah, or it's like they charge you $3 for it, and it's because not everybody's gonna necessarily
Want it. Right.
But like a little ice pack or something that comes out from underneath your seat that kind of like maybe hits pressure points or something. I don't know where the pressure point would be for ankles. It could be like inside your butthole for all I know, or
Yeah,
like the tip of your finger.
Somebody else needs to figure it out. We just have the ideas.
Yeah,
we
but
don't really
like,
do them.
but like something that can hit the pressure point that alleviates ankle swelling, that either comes out of the bottom of the seat or armrest or something like that.
I had like this vision in my head, totally robotic, like under the seat comes out these like handcuff things that like
Right.
around
Well,
your ankles.
That's kind of what
And
I
you're
mean by
like,
the pressure point thing. Yeah. Which, I mean, that has its own problems for, I don't know, the way that some people act on airplanes. I don't know.
oh my God. Very cool though.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a tough one. That
was tough.
That was a tough one.
It was like overly specific.
Oh, I had a challenge for you, but I totally forget what it is.
Okay. Do you want the time it will take me to give you yours to think of mine?
Yes, please.
Okay. So your challenge for next time is composting in the city. Now I'll give you a little bit of extra. Sometimes I have to put my compost bucket contents in a bag in the freezer because my bucket will fill up too much, and I also need to bring it to the compost green market fair, which is only on Sundays.
Oh.
And if I freeze it, then it's not stinking up my kitchen because it's a very small bucket. Second, my friend Emily has now also started composting again, and she has like an actual compost bin with like a carbon filter thing on top so that it doesn't. However, when she brings the whole tin on the subway with her, it does release scent.
Ooh.
So she's like, I wonder if these people know it's me. I'm going to pretend it's not me. They know it's me. No, I'm going to pretend it's not. So anyway, additional ideas for composting.
Sure. And just while we're on the subject, to Emily, I say this, and I hope you're listening, but whatever, man. You know how bad everyone else in the subway smells? Most people, I'll say. Don't worry about it. That's where I'm starting. But we'll
Forget
about it. Yeah, seriously, you're in New York. Forget about it. So for the next episode, city composting.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me. For you, I can't remember what I was going to say earlier, but I will kind of piggyback off of what we were talking about earlier with you being a short person. And I will say solutions for being short at concerts.
Yes.
Other things where you have a height disadvantage.
Love it.
That's where we're going to go from there. And then maybe I'll think of what I was going to say and write that one down for the next episode challenge.
I love it. Okay.
What?
I feel like this is a really successful pod.
Yeah, we're 23 down. First of all, I'm very proud of us for getting this far.
I mean, for listeners who are just joining in right now, last year, I love April Fools. Last year, my April Fool's joke was a Rickroll of a podcast that I didn't do, that we created and then started this podcast after that.
Yeah.
This year, nothing could top the crazy shit happening in the world, so I abstained from April Fools. But it started as something that was not real, nothing, void, to a joke, to a thing that I look forward to every time we do it.
Yeah, so to give everyone like a little bit, this is like a back to basics episode. This is a great one for first time listeners. So the genesis of this podcast was Louise and Chris were out here in Portland visiting at the end of March last year. Chris had a conference that he was going to, and Louise was like, I'm coming too, and we're going to hang out, and it's going to be awesome. So it was. And Louise was trying to think of April Fool's pranks to do, but it was like it was like the night before. It was April Fool's Eve, essentially.
Yeah.
And we had been talking about how Louise had been talking about starting a podcast, but it just like never seemed like anything was going to happen. So that's when we came up with the concept of a podcast about the great ideas that'll never happen. Meanwhile, and Louise mentioned this briefly, the April Fool's joke was announcing the first episode of Louise's brand new podcast. This is the first episode. Everybody listen, and posting it on Facebook and everything, and it's on SoundCloud. And
there was like a theme song. There was like a cover art.
Oh yeah.
There was like an intro, like, hey, this is my name, and this is what the podcast is going to be about, and it went on for 10 seconds.
Yeah, and then it was just never gonna give you up. And
then there was dead space after, so it wasn't just like the third pot.
It was like an hour-long podcast where it
had to be authentic.
Yeah. So Louise posted on Facebook, got all these likes, all these comments. Congratulations. Oh, so cool. Nobody listened. Clearly nobody listened to it.
Clearly. People would see me on the street like a week later and be like, congratulations on your podcast. I haven't listened yet, but I'm going to listen. It's on my list of things to do. And I'm like, no, it's too late now.
Yeah. Nobody listened to it.
Like 5 people.
But you know what? I feel like those are some of the best things where it's like, you know how funny it was. You know how clever it was. And that's all that matters. So anyway, going back to it, that's how this podcast started, because it's all about these ideas that we have that we're never going to do. And the fact that we've not only started this podcast, but are actually 23 episodes in. We do it every other week unless there's like a huge reason why we can't do it. And then we just go to the next week or whatever. It's almost a year. We're coming up on a year of this. So that's pretty cool.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah. So, I mean, episode 23, that's like week 46. We're almost at a year.
All right.
Cool.
I'm so proud of us.
We're so great. So are all of you listeners.
That's right. You too can have ideas that you don't do and then congratulate yourself about it.
I know. It's crazy. Listen, they've listened to this episode this far. They're probably okay with us patting ourselves on the backs a little bit.
That's true.
No, but we do want to thank all of you guys for listening. Super appreciate it. And honestly, 3M, any companies that make cool lenses, DJI, you're welcome to sponsor the show. Yeah, Moment Lenses. You're welcome to sponsor the show or just send us stuff.
I mean, Casper, Betterment, you guys are welcome to sponsor our pod as well. We just didn't mention any ideas having to do with your companies this time.
Oh, I'm going to for next time.
Oh!
Yeah, just because you said that. Because
sub-challenge.
Because we're talking about upgrading to a king-size bed. Because Oh, here's another fun fact: having a kid in July. So the tide has changed since we were babies, Louise, and babies no longer are just like, oh, you've been born. Here's the crib you're going to sleep in for a while. It's like they recommend that not only is the baby in the bedroom, but some people argue that like the best solution for like 3 to 6 months is that they are actually in the bed and do bed sharing. And there are safe ways to do it and there are unsafe ways to do it, but the safe ways are the best ways to do it. Anyway, so it's like, we might need a bigger bed. Casper. We've been on your website. We're looking at things.
I bought my dog a Casper dog bed for Christmas. Like, I'm a happy customer.
We've been talking about getting Daisy a dog bed for the baby's room. Being like, she's going to be in here. And it's like, why don't we just, like, crawl before we walk, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get too carried away with, like, making the dog comfortable. There's a rug here. She'll lay on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gabbing on too much. We've already talked about our challenges for next week. If you, that's right, you listeners have a great idea that you'll never do, call us 304-804-IDEA. Leave us a voicemail.
You can text it.
You can.
If you're not comfortable with your voice, you can text it too.
You know what? I have to test that out to see if that actually works.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
304-804-IDEA, or you can write us at greatideapod@gmail.com. Our social media stuff is greatideapod at greatideapod. Sometimes we post some stuff on there. We don't want to bombard you with stuff though. We're not going to shove our political opinions down your throats, although you probably agree with us anyway if you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, right. If you made it this far, chances are we're in the same tribe.
Yes. We will say no more. Anyway, Louise, always a pleasure.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
I have a great idea, but I'll never do it. It might happen. Sure, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.